inside my car. I got pictures, got candy, I'm a lovable man, and I can take you to the nearest star. I'm your vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. I'm your vehicle, woman. By now I'm sure you know that I love you, I need you, I want you, got to have you tried. Great God in heaven, you know I love you.
When you play without DH, you're always on call. I mean, if you're a bench player, you're always preparing to hit. You kind of think along with the manager. If you've got the pitcher coming up in the 6th inning or the 7th inning, you're behind in the ball game. About 3 guys they go down in the tunnel and start to loosen up, just to anticipate. Without the DH, you just sit there and watch the game. There's no pitcher to hit for. There's none of these decisions to be made. So that's kind of the bad part of the DH, I think, as far as a utility player.
The designated hitter rule is a form of specialization, and all forms of specialization breed extinction. It was created by Bowie Kuhn and Charles Finley to get away with 2 less jobs on a major league roster, because you have the DH who did all the hitting. You didn't need the pitch hitters, the 2 pitch hitters that you might need in a game. You didn't need the extra relief pitcher, so you could actually lower rosters, 1 less salary, 2 less salaries, 2 less pensions, 2 less travel, and it was a way of downsizing. And it wasn't to put more offense in the ball game, what they said. It was a rouge, and Marvin Miller proved it, because right after they installed that rule, they tried to drop the players' rosters down.
So what he did is developed a guy who was a 6, maybe a 7-inning pitcher, developed the term middle reliever, and also this stat called holds, and also defined what today's closer is. That is the guy who comes in primarily for 1 inning and finishes off a ball game and accumulates a lot of saves.
The DH is obviously designed to put another hitter in the lineup, eliminate the pitcher from hitting, therefore less strategy. A pitcher can stay in the game longer. It's an easier job to manage in the American League.
Starting off as a player was just something that was unique, and always being in the American League, you came to appreciate the fact that offense was at its height in the American League. Now that I'm in the National League, now that I'm in the front office, you see how it's distorted the game, you see how it's changed the game, how it's made pitching more difficult, that it's made games longer, that you end up playing for big innings and not playing good fundamental baseball. So I think that one change has really, taken a lot of the finesse out of the game of baseball.
I like the National League style of baseball. I think it's a faster game. There's more excitement. The game moves along, quicker, and you teach the whole game.
A lot of ball players didn't enjoy it because they didn't feel like they were a complete ball player. But I always liked to swing the bat.
I didn't like it. I totally I felt I was disassociated with the game, because you're always running out to play defense, and you're thinking about defense, and then when you come back in, you sit down, and if it's your turn to hit, you're going to the bat rack to get ready and prepared, and if not, you're sitting there thinking about, what you did the last time, or, what about defense, and watching the game a little more, and taking advantage of anything you can learn in between time. But with the DH, I didn't know exactly what to do.
My theory with that was that it always enhanced an extra year or 2 with the older player to play. The American League wanted more run production. They couldn't get it as much with a pitcher in the lineup, and the strategy of the game changed a bit because of the DH.
That was not a bad rule, but of course that changes the game. There are a lot of baseball purists.
I think it takes a lot of managing away from the game. It's not so much that the people come out to watch a pitcher hit, but the fact that a pitcher is able to move a runner over, the fact that he can bunt, he gets to stay in the game, and the manager, ultimately has to make a decision whether you put a pinch hitter in for him or not. Whereas in the American League, you pretty much just let the guy stand out on the mound and throw as many pitches as he can, until he drops or until you bring somebody else in.
I'd like to see a pitcher bat. Pitchers can bat. And I think that they should. I think it's part of the ball game.
Sometimes they'll put the pitcher in right field, let him come back in the next inning and pitch.
No, I don't like the DH. I think the baseball game has been meant to be played with the pitcher hitting. I think if Catfish Hunter's a good hitter, then why should he be penalized going against a pitcher that can hit? So Catfish won't hit and he uses a DH, and the other pitcher would hit. I remember when I was with the White Sox, I managed with the pitcher hitting. Then they changed to the DH, and they asked me, what do you think of the DH, Chuck? I said, I don't like it. I says, anybody can manage with the DH. That's what I thought. You put 9 guys out, and it's a merry-go-round. Make a couple changes here and there. Leave your best reliever in, or let your starter pitch the whole game, whatever you want to do. And I says, I don't like it. So Lee McPhail called me, and he was the president of the league. And Lee said, hey, Chuck. I said, yeah, how you doing? I thought, what the heck's he want? He says, we have the DH, and you have to like it. And I read that, what you said in, I think it was Sports Illustrated or something. And I said, okay. So the next year they came around, they said, what do you think of the DH now, Chuck? I said, well, Lee McPhail told me to tell you I have to like it.
Now we have bad pitching because of the designated hitter. Everybody wants to swing the bat, so your athletes, your pitchers used to be some of your best athletes. Now it doesn't seem to be that way, and you have an erosion of good pitchers out there, and you have to know how to swing the bat, and you learn the ethics of knocking a guy down. You know you can come inside, but they don't. Pitchers nowadays, they come inside at the wrong time, and that gets hitters upset, and that hitters get upset and they charge the mound more. You don't have an ethics between the pitcher and the hitter anymore. There's a division of labor, and that's not good. You know, pitchers are segregated on this side, hitters are on this side. In the old days, we used to kind of, before 72, you know, we kind of belonged to the same ball club. Now it's different. It's not good, and Bowie Kuhn should be ashamed of himself.